The Secaucus Animal Shelter, located on Meadowlands Parkway, provides a safe haven for Secaucus animals who have been abandoned or surrendered. This no-kill facility offers a wide selection of purebred and mixed-breed dogs, as well as cats, for a nominal donation of just $30 to $65. All animals have been examined, inoculated, and, if age appropriate, neutered by Dr. Hatch, our town veterinarian. On-site obedience training is conducted for our canine friends by teams of volunteers who socialize and interact with all of our animals. The shelter staff and volunteers are also responsible for the highly successful Trap, Neuter, and Release program, helping to control the population of feral cats in Secaucus. We invite you to come to our shelter and take home your new best friend, or volunteer your time to a rewarding cause. To make an appointment, please call the number on your screen or stop by today.
Good morning. Today, our school is participating in Student Government Day. This program provides a valuable opportunity for our students to learn about the workings of our local government and to realize the importance of civic involvement. Being aware of the issues that affect you and your town is not only your right, but also your responsibility. I would like to thank Mayor Michael Ganelli and the mayor and the members of the Town Council for bringing this program back to Secaucus High School, and we look forward to having it again in the future. I would like to turn this gathering now over to the mayor and the council for their annual town council meeting. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear us okay? First off, I'd like to thank you all for coming out. I know you're out of class, so that's a good thing. But this is about just a lesson in local government. And you know, we act the same way as your state and your federal legislators, just we do it on a local level. So today we're trying to pass some ordinances and resolutions that pertain to you. And what I ask is, under public comment, don't be afraid to get up and speak and voice your opinion, voice any ideas you may have, any suggestions you may have for the governing body, you know, things looking at and now as well as into the future. It may get a little confusing. This is probably the biggest group we've ever assembled for a council meeting, but we have designees that are going to stand in for us and actually run the meeting. The only thing we need to do is vote as the mayor and council to ratify whatever we have on our agenda, but they will vote also, and they may even have different opinions than us. So we want this to be an open forum, something that you guys can take home and understand how your government works. We welcome all of you to come to a council meeting at any time. They're open. They're in the summer, they're the fourth Tuesday. In the fall, spring, and winter, they're the second and fourth Tuesday. So welcome, everybody. Hope you enjoy this meeting, and don't be afraid to get up and ask questions, and we'll hopefully have an open dialogue. And thank you very much.
At this time, I call this meeting to order. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting, as required by the Open Public Meeting Act, has been provided by the filing of the annual notice of meetings with the municipal clerk, the posting of said notice on the official bulletin board in the Municipal Government Center, and delivery of same to the Secaucus Home News on June 3, 2010. This body wishes to advise you that in accordance with the NJAC 523-11.1, sequence of the indoor air quality standards and procedures for buildings occupied by the public employees, smoking anywhere in this public building is prohibited by law. In the event of a fire or other emergency, please note that there are 2 exits at the rear of the council chamber which may be used. Roll call. Mayor Ganelli.
I'm here, and with me today is Cynthia Costello, who is the mayor for the day.
Councilman Gary Jeffis.
I'm present, and my councilwoman for the day is Laura Montadori.
Councilman John Shinnick.
Present, and with me today is Councilwoman for the 3rd Ward, Marielle Shinnick.
Councilman Robert Constantino.
I'm here, and with me today is Alex Farinola.
Councilman William McKeever.
I'm here, and with me is Brian Sinisi. He'll be 3rd Ward Councilman for the day.
Councilman James Clancy.
I'm here, and my counterpart, Councilman of the 2nd Ward today, will be Takeover Nakayoshi.
And Councilman John Buckner.
I'm also here, and with me is Nick Mimikos, who will be Councilman and Deputy Mayor.
The first ordinance we have is number 2010/24, an ordinance of the Town of Secaucus, County of Hudson, State of New Jersey, regulating the use of mobile telephones and texting while operating a motor vehicle. Ordinance number 2010/25, an ordinance of the Town of Secaucus, County of Hudson, State of New Jersey, authorizing the change of a street name in accordance with NJSA 40-67-1.
Do I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2010-24?
So, motion?
Second?
You second.
Second.
Yes, second.
Second by Councilman Smith. Call the roll.
Roll call, Councilman members Gary Jeffis.
Gary.
Yes.
I vote yes on it.
Councilman John Shinnick.
Yes.
Councilman Robert Constantino.
Yeah. We vote yes.
Councilman William McKeever.
Yes.
Councilman James Clancy.
Yes, go ahead.
And I vote yes.
Councilman Deputy Mayor Buckner.
Yes.
And Mayor Michael Ganelli.
Yes.
Yes.
Councilman Mondadori.
Yes.
Councilman Shinnick.
Yes.
Councilman Farinola.
Yes.
Councilman Sinisi.
Yes.
Councilman Nagioshi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mimikos.
Yes.
Mayor Costello.
Yes. Do I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2010-25?
So moved.
Second?
Second. Down here was second.
Council members Gary Jeffis.
seconded by Jeffers.
Seconded by Councilmember Jeffers.
Now call for.
Roll.
Councilman John Shinnick,
Yes.
Councilman Robert Constantino,
Yes.
Councilman William McKeever,
Yes.
Councilman James Clancy,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Buckner,
Yes.
Mayor Michael Ganelli,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mondadori,
Yes.
Councilwoman Shinnick,
Yes.
Councilman Farinola,
Yes.
Councilman Sinisi,
Yes.
Councilman Nagioshi,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mimikos,
Yes.
Mayor Costello.
Yes.
The next order of business are the resolutions. Okay. Whereas pursuant to the Uniform Shared Services and Constellation Act of NJSA 40A-65-4, resolution approving a shared service agreement with the County of Hudson for various services.
Any discussion on resolution number 1? Do I have a motion to pass this?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Shinnick, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Clancy. Call for roll.
Second, Councilman Jeffers,
Yes.
Councilman Shinnick,
Yes.
Councilman Constantino,
Yes.
Councilman McKeever,
Yes.
Councilman Clancy,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Buckner,
Yes.
Mayor Ganelli,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mondadori,
Yes.
Councilwoman Shinnick,
Yes.
Councilman Farinola,
Yes.
Councilman Sinisi,
Yes.
Councilman Nagioshi,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mimikos,
Yes.
Mayor Costello.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the application for a grant from the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs for the summer camp program.
Do I have a motion to pass this resolution?
Move.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Jeffers. Any discussion? Call for the roll.
Councilman Jeffers,
Yes.
Councilman Shinnick,
Yes.
Councilman Constantino,
Yes.
Councilman McKeever, Councilman Clancy,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Buckner, Mayor Ganelli,
Yes.
okay, Councilwoman Mondadori,
Yes.
Councilwoman Shinnick,
Yes.
Councilman Farinola,
Yes.
Councilman Sinisi, Councilman Nagioshi,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mimikos,
Yes.
Mayor Costello.
Yes.
Resolution in support of anti-bullying initiatives and the anti-bullying pledge. Whereas bullying, defined as the repeated health endangering and illegitimate mistreatment of a person by a cruel perpetrator, is contrary to the values and priorities of the town of Secaucus and all of its citizens. And whereas 30%, over 5.7 billion of youths in the United States are estimated to be involved in bullying as victims or bullies, 37% in U.S. workers have reported being bullied on the job, and 49% say they have witnessed a bully in action, making as many as 71.5 million workers affected by bullying. And whereas this practice has been observed to cause anger, depression, anxious avoidance of social situations, greater incidence of illness, lower grades, greater incidence of suicidal thoughts and feelings, reduced occupational opportunities, lingering feelings of bitterness and desire for revenge, difficulty trusting people, increased tendency to be a loner, self-esteem problems, and a continuing vulnerability of mistreatment. And whereas the toll of school and workplace bullying can have serious economic consequences by significantly contributing student and employee absences recorded each day in the United States, and the $300 billion of lost productivity, employee turnover, and health insurance for stress-related illnesses that stress annually costs the American industry. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and Town Council, Town of Secaucus, County of Hudson, State of New Jersey, shall support all local anti-bullying initiatives that are proven to be substantially reduce the incidence and severity of bullying, And be it further resolved that the governing body urges federal, state, and other local governments to adopt legislation and policies that provide school districts with the tool and resources they need to ensure that all community members and visitors feel safe. And be it further resolved that the governing body urges all students to sign and confirm to the anti-bullying pledge attached. And be it further resolved that the mayor and town council, town of Secaucus, county of Hudson, state of New Jersey, shall endeavor to establish a culture of awareness and sensitivity among its employees and citizens regarding this serious issue.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Constantino. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Clancy. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilman Jeffers,
Yes.
Councilman Shinnick,
Yes.
Councilman Constantino,
Yes.
Councilman McKeever,
Yes.
Councilman Clancy,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Buckner,
Yes.
Mayor Ganelli,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mondadori,
Yes.
Councilwoman Shinnick,
Yes.
Councilman Farinola,
Yes.
Councilman Sinisi,
Yes.
Councilman Nagayoshi,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mimikos,
Yes.
and Mayor Costello.
Yes.
Resolution appointing Judge Masulo to the position of probationary police officer effective June 13th, 2010, at an annual salary of $38,788.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Clancy. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Shinnick. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilman Jeffers,
Yes.
Councilman Shinnick,
Yes.
Councilman Constantino,
Yes.
Councilman McKeever,
Yes.
Councilman Clancy,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Buckner,
Yes.
and Mayor Ganelli.
Yes.
Councilman Mondadori,
Yes.
Councilwoman Shinnick,
Yes.
Councilman Farinola,
Yes.
Councilman Sinisi,
Yes.
Councilman Nagayoshi,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mimikos,
Yes.
and Mayor Costello.
Yes. Would Jude Mazzillo please come forward?
I, Jude Mazzillo, do solemnly swear
I, Jim Sulo, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
impartially, and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of
probationary police officer
for the Secaucus Police Department,
for the Secaucus Police Department,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Resolution, Town of Secaucus. Resolution, Personal Policies and Procedures, Manual and Handbook, including a policy prohibiting unlawful discrimination and harassment. Whereas, it is the policy of the Town of Secaucus to treat employees.
Okay.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, do I hear a second? Never mind. Any discussion? Call for the roll.
Councilman Jeffers,
Yes.
Councilman Shinnick,
Yes.
Councilman Constantino,
Yes.
Councilman McKeever,
Yes.
Councilman Clancy,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Buckner,
Yes.
Mayor Ganelli,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mondadori,
Yes.
Councilwoman Shinnick,
Yes.
Councilman Farinola,
Yes.
Councilman Sinisi, Councilman Nagayoshi,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mimikos,
Yes.
Mayor Costello.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing disposal of surplus property.
Do I hear a motion? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilman Jeffers.
Yes.
Councilman Shinnick.
Yes.
Councilman Constantino.
Yes.
Councilman McKeever. Councilman Clancy.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Buckner.
Yes.
Mayor Ganelli.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mondadori.
Yes.
Councilwoman Shinnick.
Yes.
Councilman Farinola.
Yes.
Councilman Sinisi.
Yes.
Councilman Nagioshi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mimikos.
Yes.
Mayor Costello.
Yes.
Resolution appointing Shannon Wisner as a part-time animal shelter assistant effective June 10th, 2010 at a salary of $12 per hour.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilman Jeffers.
Yes.
Councilman Shinnick.
Yes.
Councilman Constantino.
Yes.
Councilman McKeever.
Yes.
Councilman Clancy.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Buckner.
Yes.
Mayor Ganelli.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mondadori.
Yes.
Councilwoman Shinnick.
Yes.
Councilman Farinola.
Yes.
Councilman Sinisi.
Yes.
Councilman Nagioshi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mimikos.
Yes.
Mayor Costello.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the town clerk to advertise and receive bids for tree planting services.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilman Gary Jeffers.
Yes.
Councilman John Shinnick.
Yes.
Councilman Robert Constantino.
Yes.
Councilman William McKeever.
Yes.
Councilman James Clancy.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Buckner.
Yes.
Mayor Michael Ganelli.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mondadori.
Yes.
Councilwoman Shinnick.
Yes.
Councilman Farinola.
Yes.
Councilman Sinisi.
Yes.
Councilman Nagioshi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mimikos.
Yes.
Mayor Costello.
Yes.
I need to reprove the report and correspondence register.
Motion to receive and file.
Second?
Second.
Call the roll.
Councilman Gary Jeffers.
Yes.
Councilman John Shinnick.
Yes.
Councilman Robert Constantino.
Yes.
Councilman William McKeever.
Yes.
Councilman James Clancy.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Buckner.
Yes.
Mayor Michael Ganelli.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mondadori.
Yes.
Councilwoman Shinnick.
Yes.
Councilman Farinola.
Yes.
Councilman Sinisi.
Yes.
Councilman Nagioshi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mimikos.
Yes.
And Mayor Costello.
Yes.
The next is committee reports.
Does anybody have a committee report?
For the police report, there were 790 summons were issued by the police department in May. 281 were moving radar violations, 509 were parking violations. Drive safely because the police department is out there. For the safety committee, we are implementing stop signs for the crossing guards to hold up to stop the traffic so you can see them better. So that will be better for the safety of everyone.
Mayor, here's our finance report. Here's the latest version of the New Jersey taxpayer's dollar. Based on tax receipts, information reported by the Department of Community Affairs and the official Office of Legislative Services. It illustrates our state's chronic over-reliance on the property tax to fund essential public programs and services. The dollar shows that 44% of all state and local taxes collected in New Jersey were collected through local property tax. The national average is around 30%. 21% of total taxes were collected through the state income tax. The national average is 22.5%. The state sales tax, the national average is 34.5%. And all other state collected taxes, which include cigarette taxes, liquor taxes, motor fuel taxes, etc. The national average is 8.6%, accounted for 15% each. And state corporation taxes account for 4% of the total. National average is 4.4%. The Finance Committee is working very hard to finalize 2010 budget for introduction by the end of June.
All right, so I have a couple of reports. The first two are from the Fire Committee. This past Sunday, the Fire Department had their annual Fire Service Day. It was really successful. Had 100 or so kids. We basically taught about the safety precautions. There were amusements for children, and it was a really great event. The second one is, I don't know if you guys heard, but there's been a major accident yesterday around Maple Street ramp. A car turned over and 4 people were trapped in a fire. The interesting thing is a bus driver pulled aside, pulled out his fire extinguisher and, put out the fire and rescued these 4 people. Ironically enough, he left. So the police are actually trying to find this man down and to honor him for his heroic gesture. Okay. And so for the last one is from the Shade Tree Committee. It's about the resolution that was introduced today about advertising bids for the trees. Our town is putting out bids for landscapers to plant trees. We're planning on planting about 100 trees this year. They're all donated from the Department of Transportation, and that's around $57,000. And they won't be planted until fall. So, thank you.
On June 22nd in the middle school and June 25th at the high school, we will hold a barbecue pertaining to drug and alcohol abuse. In addition, there will be a DJ and numerous other activities. It is planned to take place from 11 to 1:30 p.m. In terms of the July 4th celebration at the pool, many towns are canceling their July 4th celebrations due to financial issues. We, however, will continue to hold ours this year. Unfortunately, it will only be open to Secaucus residents and their families and members of the pool.
There is a commitment to youth activities, and this administration is looking for ways to provide services to our youth. Working with companies and our youth groups, we are doing new things for our kids. Events such as pool nights for teens, youth dances at the rec center, outdoor movie nights in the park, and summer youth concerts. The concerts will be on July 14th and August 11th, with sponsors by companies such as Walmart, Bob's, and Empire Warehouse. The youth of our town is very important to this administration, and we will continue to provide services for them.
The Recreation Committee, I might start it off. It was a little too difficult to brief Nick on all of the things that are going on, but you all probably know the Thursday night concert series, which we've had for 10 years or so in the Buckmiller Park area. We'll be doing the same thing this year. We've got all new talent. I sort of took it over this year to try to bring in some different kind of talent. I don't know if you know the names of any of these groups, 45 RPM, the Coots. There's a lot of rock and roll type of stuff, 60s, 70s, 80s music. And this is like, we have ours, as you know, from the report that you just heard. We also have a couple of teen ones in there, which is going to supplement those Thursday night ones. So we have the 8, those 2, that'll be 10. And I'll let Nick report on one other one, which is being held by Harts Mountain. In September, at least the plan now is that Harts Mountain is talking about putting together a 5K. So this would be, we haven't gotten the details, we just discussed it yesterday with the Harts Mountain people, but it would be a run somewhere from Harts Mountain, maybe to Laurel Hill and back, that type of thing. We don't know all the details. They're trying to put it together to raise money for a charity of our choice, or a number of charities, if that be the case. So at this time, I'll let Nick just report on the Harmon Meadow.
Yeah, as Mr. Buckner said, Harts Mountain is running a concert on June 17th in the Harmon Meadow, and this band will be Neil and the Diamonds with a warm-up band called The True Story, and it will be in the Plaza Courtyard in Harmon Meadow. It'll be on Thursday, June 17th from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m., with the rain date being June 18th. So pretty much you could join Harts and the Sound of Secaucus for a musical and visual tribute to the legendary entertainer Neil Diamond. You'll be amazed by vocalist Kyle Cummings' exact replication of Neil Diamond's sound and look. Be entertained by Neil's biggest hits, Sweet Caroline, Coming to America, and many more. In addition, the Northern Jersey band, known as A True Story, will be beginning at 5:30 p.m. They are sure to please the audience with their energetic stage show, combining modern rock with pop and metal. Bring a lawn chair. There will also be a variety of fun free activities for the whole family: face painting, balloon sculptures, free cotton candy. Plus, many of the restaurants in Harmon Meadow will be offering free food samples. Free food and fun for the kids begins at 5:30 p.m. I think that's it. Yeah, and that's it.
For the Secaucus Municipal Alliance, which is the same organization that's going to hold the barbecue here on the 25th, we'll be having a mystical celebration on June 17th from 6 to 10. It's psychic readings. It has tarot cards, medium palms, numerology, energy healing, past lives, and astrology. It's a win-win for fun night, and it raises money for our youth in Secaucus. And then, this will be held at the Secaucus Senior Center on Center Avenue. And then we have the Relay for Life on Friday, June 18th to the 19th. It's groups of friends, families, and neighbors from teams and walk or run around a track, raising funds, awareness, and spirits. Honoring those who have survived cancer and remembering the millions who have not. Relay brings communities together to make a difference. It's called a relay because each team must keep a member walking all through the night. Relay teams pitch tents and decorate their campsites, and loved ones are honored at the ceremony that recognizes lives affected by cancer and represents hope for the future. Every Relay for Life has its own traditions and special activities, but each location holds a survivor's lap to commence the celebrations. On behalf of the American Cancer Society, survivors, community members, students, and their families who have been touched by this disease, I thank you in advance for your support.
Is there any unfinished business?
There has been a big problem that's come about and introduced by many of the councilmen. The traffic on Patterson Plank Road near Best Buy has been accumulating during rush hour traffic. So the Meadowlands Light program has been working to use computers and various technologies to keep the traffic flowing and regulate it properly. So that's hopefully something that we can get running by the end of the year. It's also going to cost about $1.4 million. Paid for by the Meadowlands Light program, not us.
Is there any new business?
Seeing none, we're going to go to remarks of citizens.
Seeing none, we are now going to go to the remarks of citizens. Please state your name
Good morning.
and address.
My name is Roseanne Krajewski. I reside at 297 Pauline Terrace in Secaucus. I am a married mother of 2 small children. My husband is Charles William Krajewski III. He is a member on the Secaucus Board of Education. I have been implementing, managing, and directing group fitness programs for the past 11 years at various health clubs, including 2 that operated in the town of Secaucus. I have many ideas on implementing programs at our new Secaucus Recreation Center that will attract many people of all age groups and raise funding for the recreation. I ask to be given the opportunity to discuss these programs with you in full detail. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we will be in touch with you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? All right. My name's Angelica Burley. I'm a 10th grader here. I live on Hagen Place. I just have a question. I noticed that we have a lot of stores where the mall used to be, but why do we not have a supermarket? We have like 3 furniture stores around here. We can get everything else, but we need food.
Take it easy. I can answer that very clearly. The past administration worked to get a supermarket, and we used to have an Acme and we had a Stop and Shop. They're very convenient. The Acme was very convenient in the center of town. Walmart is opening a full-service supermarket on the 16th of June. The grand opening is the 16th, and we've been in negotiations, and I'm proud to almost announce that we have landed at D'Agostino's, which is a big New York chain. It's a great supermarket, and it'll be the first supermarket chain from D'Agostino's in the state of New Jersey, and that should be happening within the next several months.
Hi, my name is Matt Bellin, and it's recently come to my attention that the police officers in this town have almost been harassing young people in this town. Like just the other day, I was standing in front of Sicko, and me and my friends were detained by police officers for a good 20 minutes for no apparent reason, waiting for other police officers to show up. And I asked why I was being detained, and the officers wouldn't give me a straight answer. And I'd just like to know why, I've seen it happen before too, I just want to know why the cops are harassing kids.
See, being the mayor and having the police chief here gives me the opportunity to let him explain that in detail. Chief?
It's on? Okay. Without knowing the particulars of who you are, what day it was, but you can come see me at the conclusion of this. I can get some information off of you, and I can get back to you. With just giving me where it happened, I really couldn't give you an answer, but I will as soon as I get back to work and get a little bit more particulars from you.
No, you see, the issue was that I didn't get an answer at the time when I asked the cop myself. I have to bring it up in front of the town council and get it from the police chief. I think that's a little ridiculous.
Well, what day? Like I said, at the conclusion of the meeting, I'll meet you on the side, find out who you are, what day it was, what time of the day it was, and what the officers may have looked like, so I can figure out what it was about. Excuse me?
One of them's here, actually. It's a short black guy.
Okay. Like I said, I'll talk to you after the meeting to get more information.
Well, thank you.
Hi, this question is directed to Mayor Ganelli. I want to know, how do you measure the pulse of your voter in Secaucus? Sorry. I mean, what do you do to go around town to show people that, that you're making a change in the community?
Well, to measure the pulse is pretty simple. I ran unopposed and everybody voted for me, so
okay.
I did pretty good. But, I'm in the office all day long. I field hundreds and hundreds of calls a day. I answer every call. I get a feel for what the problems are in the community. And, I'm there as a full-time mayor. As the council, they go around and see people on the street. We talk to people. We get their opinions. We get their ideas. And this administration has really tried to be open and transparent.
Okay.
Everything that we do, we let the public know what we're doing. And we're a bunch of independent minds, so we don't always agree. We're agreeing today a lot, but generally we don't always agree. So there's a lot of dialogue and a lot that takes place up here that you guys really didn't see today, but that's constructive, and everybody should have their own mind and their opinions. But we're out there. We're running a lot of events this year. We're meeting a lot of people, and we're hearing what the problems and concerns of the community are.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Kelly Ann Getman. I live on 4th Street. I was just wondering if you believe the budget changes and the changes in the Secaucus Board of Education have caused the vast amount of resignations from the teachers in their schools? I mean, I understand there's 27 and counting resignations from the teachers.
That's a tough question. And the question was, there's been I wouldn't call them resignations. I would probably say they're retirements. But there's a lot happening in the state, and the new governor has passed a lot of legislation that I believe is forcing long-term teachers to retire. You know, there's things such as their pension and their medical insurance that is a big concern to them. So you're seeing a lot of teachers leave. But I can assure you, you know, the superintendent and the administration and the board is conscious of what's happening, and I don't think you're going to see any change in the educational system in Secaucus. You know, it's very important to us that we maintain a high level of education. I know it's important to them, but you'll be getting some new teachers.
I also understand that there's been a lot of cuts with the classes, like in the arts. I know that the media has been jeopardized several times.
I couldn't hear that. Yeah, you know, I know the superintendent is here, and, you know, they're really questions that should be asked to the board. The board is an independent, autonomous agency, and the government, at least this government, really tries not to get involved. I did get involved a little bit, and my only involvement was to hopefully get a better communication between the Teachers Association and the administration. But we really don't step into board business. But I know Mrs. Randine is here, and if she'd like to get up and speak. Did she leave? Not? She's not here? Mr. Walkowitz is here? All right. How about Miss Ertl? Very hesitantly, but she's coming. I can't really hear.
That's okay. Your question, Kellyanne, was?
That there's been many like jeopardizations in like the media for this school. I know that the media's been jeopardized a few times, like the academy.
The Media Academy? You view that the Media Academy is in jeopardy at Secaucus High School? The Media Academy is as strong as the student body makes it. Each program is driven by your requests. So if you desire to take those courses, and I have the enrollment for those courses to run, they will run. As you know, you have been brought back in by your guidance counselors in order to possibly make choices in your schedule for next year. Due to the fact of requirements that we are under, that each class must have a minimum of 14 in order to run. That's why we are looking for certain classes to come together. And at times, what you have seen is combination classes in order so programs are not cut. So we do combine classes so that we continue a program to run. Thank you.
Thank you, and I hope that answered your question because she would do a better job at that than I. Any other questions?
Good morning. My name is John Paul. I'm a 9th grader attending Secaucus High School, and I live on Pandolfi Avenue. Quick question, just regarding in response to your about where it says anti-bullying initiatives. Don't you think that should have been done a long time ago? I mean, there's plenty of I know myself. I'm not bullied, but how it's such a big problem in this school, and how in this facility, how so many people are being troubled by torments and it just bothers me on not only in school, but on the streets. I can see a bunch of these people, not as gangs, but as people, just treating everyone with just complete disrespect. And I know that you can't do anything with how they feel about that and how that they think about that, but, what do you think we should do?
Well, I think that's going to start right here in the school, and we put that on the agenda today because we felt it was a very important issue to address. And quite honestly, I've gotten calls in the mayor's office about bullying. I've gotten stopped by people on the street about bullying, and we hope each and every one of you, there's a pledge I think that's attached to that we're going to hand out, and we hope each and every one of you sign that pledge and make a commitment to have that nonsense stop. We're all one. We should be treated as one. And, when you bully somebody, you're affecting their entire livelihood. I'm sure children go home at the end of the day very upset. It affects their schoolwork. It affects their social lives. And as a council, we're trying to do our best to stop that, and we will continue to do that.
Thank you. Also, when you're talking about tree planting services, is it the town's job to do that? Because when a town clerk is advertising and receiving bids, is he or she benefiting from planting these trees for the townspeople?
Well, everybody benefits by tree planting. And this money was actually a grant from a tunnel project that New Jersey Transit is doing. And what they did was take trees down in another location, and they're trying to get those trees back into the communities that were affected. So, it's a great program. A community like ours without trees is not a community. And if you look around, you see people taking down trees all the time. Trees make us an urban, environment. What trees do for the environment, and there's nothing but positive. So our goal is to plant hundreds of trees every year. By doing it through this grant, we're getting it for free. I think it's 112 trees in all that'll be planted townwide for $0 to the taxpayer.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think to your question, you were asking if it's correct in the way we're doing the bidding because the town clerk would be getting the bids, and would they benefit from something like that? Because every time we do a bid, what we're doing is actually, he's just authorized to advertise for people to put a bid into us as to what price they can do the work for, but it's a sealed bid, and it comes in so we make sure we can choose the lowest bidder and get the best price for the town. The town clerk doesn't deal with any monies or anything coming in. He's just authorized to take those sealed bids and at a certain point in time open them so we know we're getting the best services for the least amount of money. And we do that with every contract we put out to make sure that somebody can't just choose the highest bidder because that's their friend, or that's somebody that money could flow back to them for. So that's what that process is.
Thank you.
My name is Jeremy. I live on Hudson Avenue. It has recently come to my attention that there was an ordinance passed on underage drinking. Can you describe in detail what that ordinance consists of?
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you were educated enough to look into that and to know that we did that. Well, it was done for a number of reasons. First of all, I guess this is going to be party season, and with kids graduating and prom.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean.
I was a kid once, come on. But what we did was we passed an ordinance so that a police officer has some discretion in what he does when he gets involved in an underage drinking party or comes into a home where there's children underage that are drinking. And what it does is it gives him really three options. And I'll let the town attorney speak on it also, but the first option is to do nothing and let the children leave. And the second option used to be to charge, which was a criminal charge, and the children would have to go to the county and be processed and go through a whole different program. What we did was pass an ordinance that keeps it local. So he has another option to just charge you in a municipal ordinance, which is not a criminal charge, and you would come into the local court, and whatever the penalty is going to be to, the penalty fits the crime, but the judge will decide whether it's community service whether it's a fine or whether it's a loss of license, depending on the severity. But we gave another option to the police so that you guys aren't charged with a criminal offense that goes on your record, makes you go to the county, makes you go into a county program, and takes it to a different level where now we can handle it on a local level, which is a real good thing.
I'm the attorney, Anthony D'Elia. There's nothing really to add to that except to say that for practical purposes, you should understand that even though it's going to be handled at the municipal court level, the penalties can be severe, and the loss of driver's license privileges is really what would be of concern to a senior in high school. And we have a municipal court judge, Judge Warrod, who is recognized as one of the toughest municipal court judges in northern New Jersey. So I just want to add that on a practical level, that's what the ordinance means. It's a little easier to process for the police because they're not forcing you to go to the county in Hudson County and intermingle with some characters that you don't want to intermingle with. But for what it means to you is, and we were all there at one time, just be careful because of the driving privileges.
Hi, my name is Linda Echeverry. I'm a senior and I live on Grace Ave. I want to know why the school gets involved with legal matters that happen outside of school and off school grounds.
All right, I'm going to defer again to our legal counsel, but that's really a question that should be asked to the board attorney.
Okay.
But we'll do our best to answer that for you.
You mean, why does the Board of Education discipline students for things that happen off school grounds or like on a Saturday night?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm also a school board attorney for many school districts, so I can answer that.
Okay.
New Jersey law, specifically the Department of Education regulations, provide that the school district can discipline students for anything that happened within the school or for things that happen off school hours or off school property that may affect the student population. I've represented some school districts who have disciplined and expelled students who were caught dealing drugs on the weekend, for example, at the county park. Why? Because that information that those kids were also dealing in a school, they just didn't get caught in the school. So there was a connection or a nexus between what happened at the park on a Saturday night and the student population and the orderly operation of a school system. So every individual Board of Education and superintendent of schools has to make that call in their mind. Is what happened to this student, might it affect the student population? I represent the Clifton Board of Education. There are big populations, Arabic, obviously there's Spanish and South American populations. A lot of issues between those groups. Things that happen on a Saturday resulted in discipline of students because they brought it back into the school system, and it created conflict and issues during the school system. So there has to be some connection between what happens off school grounds and school operations.
Right, but a park is a public area, so I understand that. But what if it happens in a private place?
If what happens in a private place still might affect the orderly operation of a school system, that's the key. No matter where it happens or when it happens, will it affect the orderly operations of a school system? That's the question.
All right.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Beckner, I have a question for you. You're looking for some charities to give to. You have some charities that you said that you would like to look into for the 17th fundraiser. I have a question. I happen to have a fatal disease called pulmonary hypertension. I'm not the only one afflicted in Secaucus. There is no cure for this disease. Your average lifespan is between 5 to 10 years. We had a student that also suffered from pulmonary hypertension, and she's very fortunate. She received a heart-lung transplant. It's about the only cure that they have right now. But I was wondering if you would consider, on the charities list, if you could please give to pulmonary hypertension. I'd be more than happy to give you the information as to where to send it. And maybe we can find a cure for that.
If you could give that to me, I know we anticipate in that 5K run, Haas is anticipating a lot of money coming in through that thing. So
If they can find a cure.
If you could give me that information, and very honestly, we're looking for some worthwhile cause.
Right,
To
right.
donate that.
I mean, I can give you all the information on the disease, the foundation, and what strides we're trying to make. I want to live long enough to teach my kids. Thank you very much.
My name's Michelle Mancini. I'm a freshman, and I live on Julian Terrace. I want to talk about the uniforms. Now, I understand it's actually getting to the point where we even can't wear the school the school sweatshirts for sports or anything. But this itself costs $35 for the shirt. For that money, I can buy something else from a store or some other store I really like, and I can use that money on that instead of having to buy a school uniform. And even half the students now, even if we do have uniforms, they still don't wear them. I know some students wear inappropriate shirts or something like that underneath their Secaucus vest or something. But still, students still don't wear the right thing, even if we do have uniforms. And I understand that you guys have it, but it costs a lot of money also. So can you guys tell me what's going on with that?
Well, I can answer you, but we have no authority to pass any kind of policies like that. The Board of Ed is a separate entity, and they pass their own policies. What I would suggest you do is, get something together and present it to the Board of Education. It's something that we can't act on as a governing body.
And that's all you can do?
Well, that's what you're going to have to do. I mean, as a group, or get up at a meeting and express your opinion, but you'd have to do it before that board. This board really has no jurisdiction whatsoever on school policy.
All right,
Sorry.
thank you. Yep.
Yeah, my name is Anthony Rojas, and I'm a senior here at Secaucus. Listen, all right. My mom broke her arm 3 days ago, and she was at the house, and we live in First Street. So she left her car over there, and we were supposed to move it because the flipper was gonna pass. So the flipper came, and she went outside, and she told the woman that she couldn't move the car because she had a cast. And the doctor told her, you can't do nothing. So she explained it to the woman, and she was like, well, too bad. And she put a ticket on my mom's car. How can that happen? They have no respect for people. They see that they can't do nothing, and they're like, I mean, we pay a lot of taxes here, to pay them, to pay the employees of the town, and they just simply have no respect for us.
You're telling me your mom went out and told the enforcement officer that she couldn't move her car?
She couldn't move the car because she had a cast.
All right, she got a ticket.
She got a ticket. She even told her to move the car for her, but she was like, I can't do it.
Well, did your mom pay that ticket yet?
No, she hasn't.
All right. You can give me that ticket and I'll pay it. But on the other hand, you have to realize that, there are laws and there are ordinances that affect things like alternate side of the street parking and many others that need to be enforced. And I know your mom's story is probably 100% true, but those officers hear a variety of stories throughout the entire day. In this case, I agree with you, but she really has no choice but to write the ticket. But get me that ticket. I'll take care of the ticket for you. Chief, I don't know if you want to speak on that at all. He left? He don't want to pay the ticket, so he left. But
I'm not concerned
just
about
get
the
me
ticket,
that, and
but they should have more consideration about us,
Well, that's. I agree with you totally, and sometimes you have to use discretion. I'll try to find out who the officer was, but in the meantime, if you give me that, I will find out who the officer was.
All right, thank you.
My name's Chanel, and I live on 9th Street. Um, I want to talk about that whole red sticker thing because I just think it's ridiculous that it only has to do with the 17-year-olds, but no one really does anything about it. Like, half of this town doesn't have that. I know, like, it's not with you guys, but, like, I just want to know about it.
Tony, did you hear that question?
What was the
You
question?
know the whole, like, red sticker thing on the 17-year-old drivers?
On the license plate?
Yeah, I just think, like, what does 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock have to do with a big difference? What does one person in the car have to do with a difference? Like, anything that could happen to a 17-year-old with getting in an accident could happen to a 25-year-old. And I just think that's ridiculous that you have to, like...
I don't know about that, but look, that's not for the municipal council. That's a state statute that was passed. So what? So I don't think that, I don't know how to answer that. I mean, you would not have passed it. Their theory is that if you're an inexperienced driver, you're more likely to have an accident late at night than earlier, but that's the state's theory. So that wouldn't be even addressed by this group.
Like...
Sorry.
Assemblyman Prieto?
And not that everything that gets passed, you may agree or may not agree with. They did a study, and it was a restricted driver's license. Thank you. Restricted driver's license for the 17-year-olds. When I was growing up, that didn't exist. 17s, you actually got your license. It was normal. You actually can get a permit at 16 and a half now, which wasn't available at that time. They did put a blue ribbon panel that studied how accidents occurred, what at the times, who was driving them, and it came back that in instances when you had inexperienced drivers that you need X amount of hours, what they found that they needed to enforce when there was more than one person in the car, when there were 3, 4, and the time restrictions to be able to, the police officer, to identify who's driving the vehicles. Now, that has come into big controversy. It's probably going to be back up before us in the legislature. It may be repealed, it may not. We will look at it because now it really puts a target on teens that are driving. And now some parents have gotten concerned that this actually will identify for a predator that it might be a teen. Now, there's a lot of dialogue going on this, so that is going on as we speak right now at the state level. So it's being looked at because of the concerns. It did go through a committee. It was voted on by the majority, and it was signed into law. So at this point in time, it is the law, but it actually is being looked at to maybe being revised.
To, like, be taken off?
It may be taken off. Right now, that is the law, though. It went into effect, and that is the law.
Yeah.
But it's being looked at because of some of the concerns that you're probably having. But there is and I could actually provide that to you through my assembly office, the statistics that it's incredible the amount of accidents when you had an inexperienced driver and you had 4 passengers as opposed to 1 person. And we have the data for all ages. Actually, as the people get older, they actually, there's accidents also. So it becomes a distraction factor.
All right, we have one presentation, and then you guys are going to break for lunch. Under Sheriff Shalary.
My name is Frank Shalary. I'm the Hudson County Undersheriff, second in command of the Sheriff's Office. First, I want to applaud the Mayor and Council for bringing this program back. Student government. It's a great way for the young people to learn and participate in the workings and function of government. Myself, in 1967, I was appointed as a Secaucus police officer, and I'm here today to make a presentation to the fire department. I know all too well how the fire department works, because back in 1967, I had to go to the fire academy as a police officer because we didn't have that many volunteers, and we had to help fight fires. And we have a great fire department under the leadership of Mayor Ganelli, who is the chief, and we have some very dedicated firemen, volunteers. My whole family lives in this town, my grandchildren, and when there's a fire, seconds count. and they do a tremendous job. No matter what time, you'll see them out in their pajamas at 3 in the morning. And I'm here to make a presentation because I was at Fire Service Day, and I would like to present a check for $500 to the Secaucus Firemen's Mutual Association, and I will give it to the chief. Great job, Chief, and all your firemen. And I just want to say a few words about the police department. I've been a cop for over 35 years, and I think Secaucus is very fortunate to have a great police department. Today's day and age, it's very difficult to be a police officer, and I think Chief Corcoran does an outstanding job. Thank you very much.
All right, just in closing, again, thank you all. Your comments were great. We'll take everything into consideration, and just have a great day. Thank you for coming. We look forward to seeing you on the 22nd and the 25th. Now you need a motion.
Motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor? Aye. This meeting is adjourned.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Costello, and today I got to play the role of Mr. Mayor Mike Ganelli. I'm very happy to have been given this opportunity because it was very interesting to finally see what goes on at one of the meetings from the table's point of view, not as much the audience.
I thought it was a very good experience. I have an interest in public service, and I believe that this was a great opportunity for me to be doing what I eventually want to do. I mean, I'm going to be a teacher, but you know, a career in public service is definitely something I want to do.
You know, I had a great day. Today. Mr. Clancy showed me around the entire town hall, and it was just an amazing experience, in which, you know, you get to actually see what happens and see behind the scenes. It takes so much work just to make, you know, a town work how it is, and I was really honored to be able to see everything, and I had a great time.
Today was actually it was different. I didn't expect anything. It was really cool though, because I actually felt like I was within like the governor, like not the governor, but like, you know, just the whole council, town stuff, and it was pretty cool. I got an insight of the behind the scenes stuff, like how everything is and how they set up the meetings and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Hi, my name's Alex Farinola. I was Councilman Rob Constantino for the day. Found it really interesting, like learning about the government and like how all these council meetings work, and like just being able to like second votes and go through all these procedures that had to happen during the day. You know, that was pretty interesting and fun.
Hi, I'm Laura Mondadori, and I was Councilman Gary Jeffis. I thought it was really interesting seeing what the town council and mayor do and what they do behind the scenes, and I see what goes on for the town council meeting. I spoke on behalf of the safety committee, and they were talking about implementing stop signs for the crossing guards, and I also talked about the police report.
All right, my name is Brandon Sneesy. I was with Councilman McKeever. We got a lot accomplished today. We passed some ordinances. We introduced two, and we did a lot of announcing events for committees that are coming up soon. And the really fun part was watching the students engage in their remarks to the board, and it was a lot of fun.
Hi, my name is Marielle Shinik, and today I filled in for my father's position as 3rd Ward Councilman for Government Takeover Day. And it was a really fun and interesting experience because I finally got to see what my dad always does and everything. And it was a really great experience for me to see this side of the town, the things that I never thought I would be able to experience. So I'm glad I experienced it.
Hi, my name is Kelsey Snedeker. I filled in for David Drumler. He's the town administrator for Secaucus, and I had a lot of fun today. I really got to see the behind-the-scenes look at how the town is run and how things work at like meetings and how everything, like how everyone works together and how it's a really great group effort. I really enjoyed my day here.
Well, I had so much fun today. As a member of JSA, the Jewish State of America,
I have a lot of experience in civics and politics, but today was just an amazing hands-on experience. I'm really thankful for Miss Ertle's civic education program. It was so much fun. I learned a lot, and it was just great.
Charles, I'm a junior at Secaucus High School, and today I took over Michael Mara's spot for town clerk. The experience was really worthwhile. I got to sit through an actual meeting, and I had to talk a lot, but it was a great experience, and I'm looking forward to learning more about this type of job.
Hi, I'm Eric Koski, and for Government Takeover today, I was the Chief Financial Officer, Margaret Barkala. It was nice. I got to see the town hall where she worked, who she kind of bossed around upstairs in the offices. But all in all, it was fun, pretty much.
Today, I'm Victoria Vanoni. I spent my day with Nick Goldsack. He was a tax collector, so I spent my day with him, and I learned about the job and everything and experienced like everything that he goes through, companies, the schooling and everything. It was a really interesting day, and I really enjoyed it and benefited from it.
I thought today's experience was very fun. I learned a lot, and it's definitely something that I could look forward to maybe doing one day when I get older.
Today at Secaucus High School there was an event where the councilmen all had a meeting and the kids take over their jobs for the day. It was a great experience to have in my life. It showed that all the kids, how they all got together, showed them their views, and it was just an all-around great experience to have.
Today, Government Takeover Day, it was very informative. I really enjoyed learning about the positions that we have in Secaucus, and I'd love to do it again.
Town Takeover Day was such a rewarding experience. I enjoyed being a part of it and spending the day with the government of Secaucus.
My experience is fun, and I learned a lot. It's definitely something to look forward to in the future if I ever want to major in anything having to do with government and those things.
The Secaucus Volunteer Fire Department is a totally volunteer department. The savings to the town in tax dollars every year, which is probably one of the most important features of what we do, is around $7 to $8 million. Significant savings. Without these guys volunteering, your tax dollars would be so much higher. They're a group of dedicated men and women. They volunteer their time. They do it for personal satisfaction and to give back to their community. Without them, I don't know where we'd be today.
Most companies have been over 100 years of service, if not they're approaching 100 years, which is a long time, and we're one of the few remaining volunteer fire companies in Hudson County.
My grandfather was a charter member of the North End Firehouse in 1911. Today it's Rescue 1 Inch and 2. In them days it was Lumen Hose Company. I guess that was a group of farmers that put the company together, but my grandfather was a charter member in 1911.
In 1954, I joined the department and got into Engine Company number 1, whose firehouse was in the old government building there, and it was housed there with the ambulance. It was so crowded we couldn't have an ice box or anything like that. And we had that Evans box, which was probably one of the best pumping engines ever made.
We have 5 different firehouses located throughout the community, each servicing a different area of town. We respond on various different calls, from structural fires to alarm fires to boat rescues, motor vehicle rescues, water damage, you name it, we do it.
The difference between fire companies is the North End Firehouse, they're equipped with a pumper, which pulled up on the scene, which you actually put water on the fire. And then they have a rescue up there, and that's used for extrication of people to entrapment and lockouts. And they also have a boat, a marine boat there, and that's used for water rescue and anything involved with fires on the water. I'm a member of the Tower Ladder Company, and they strictly do roof operations or ventilation And what they do is they pull up in the scene. They're usually the first in the building, and they do search and rescue, as the engine companies will be stretching out a line to attack the fire.
Once an applicant passes all the processes, we enroll them in one of the local academies, and we try to work with their schedule. If a daytime class is beneficial to them, we sign them up for a daytime class where they go Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. But most people have a primary job where it doesn't allow them to do it during the day. So most academies offer 2 nights a week, sometimes 3 nights a week. It's a 4-month process, and you get everything. When I was going through school, I actually was an accountant, and sent me to the academy, and they showed me everything, because I didn't know anything about saws, large fire trucks, nothing. I had none of that type of training ahead of time.
So when the members come out of fire school, they're intensely trained on first the engine company, because that's basic firefighting, stretching hose lines. We teach them how to hook up to hydrants. And later on, after they fought a couple of fires, we'll teach them how to pump, which is another important part of the fire service, is getting water to the members that are actually taking the hose lines into the structure. The training is exactly the same whether you're paid or volunteer. When you go back to your department, they'll teach you their way. If you're a volunteer department or if you're a paid department, there might be different training that your department has that's mandated. And later on, whether paid or volunteer also, you'll just keep getting training through your whole career.
This profession is always going to be a man's world. So a woman always has to work up to the standards of a male. I don't think it's much different. It's just we have to work a lot harder. I wasn't the only female in Fire Academy, thankfully, but they treated us exactly like everyone else. It wasn't as hard as I thought.
Paid or volunteer, it's a great position because you can't match the feeling after you've been at a car accident or a fire scene when a town resident comes up to you and thanks you. You don't look for that. It's not part of the criteria, but when somebody comes up to you and thanks you for saving their property or saving their house or saving some of their relatives, it's a great fulfilling feeling that you can only get in the fire service.
Being a member of the fire department over the years, you socialize not with just your fellow firefighters in Secaucus, but you get a chance to interact with other towns through training sessions and parades and conventions and the like. And I've made a lot of friends. I've kept a lot of friends over the years, and traveling around is always somebody you might know because you've met them through the fire service.
One of my favorite things of being in the department is, after being here for 17 years, is watching all the younger people that come in the department and be able to show them what we've done over the years and continue training with them to see how someone young develops into somebody that's been around for a period of time.
I became a member of the Secaucus Volunteer Fire Department in 2009 on May 7th. And I pretty much love it ever since. You know, you give back to the community, you help others, you save people's property and lives. You know, I found it really interesting, and it's really fun to be a fireman here. You do a lot of events, you go to parades, you hang out at the firehouse, you know, watch TV, play video games. You meet new people, and it's just really fun to be with. When the pager goes off, the adrenaline rush of going out, going to the fire calls, and driving on the fire truck, going to the actual alarms and everything like that. That's my favorite part, and just going there knowing I'm going to help somebody in need.
Part of the benefits of becoming a volunteer firefighter, or even a paid firefighter, is that there is a New Jersey State Firemen's Association. This is a true benevolent association which has the responsibility to take care of firefighters who are in need. An example of being in need is a firefighter loses his job on his regular job, and therefore has no income and has bills mounting. The Relief Association, which is part of the New Jersey State Firemen's Association, will authorize funds to be paid to this person based on the assets of the local Relief Association.
So I encourage anybody that's interested in the fire department, contact one of the firehouses, and you're always welcome. We're always looking for new members.
All I could really say, it was a great life for me. Something that a lot of people would enjoy if they tried it.
If you'd like to join the Secaucus Fire Department, you need to be at least at the age of 18, man or woman,
and you'll go through a vigorous training schedule prior to your appointment as a firefighter.
At the Recreation Center, we offer a wide variety of exercise equipment and fitness classes for residents of all ages and fitness levels. In our fitness room, we offer an assortment of treadmills, elliptical machines, and stationary bikes. In addition to cardio equipment, our fitness room houses a full set of free weights, dumbbells, and a circuit training area with 12 machines for a complete full-body workout. The basketball area has a full court plus 4 side baskets for practicing your shots. This can also be converted to a regulation volleyball court. Overlooking the basketball court is our walking track, which has a rubberized floor to help ease pressure on your feet. The Olympic-style pool has 6 lanes for swimming and is fully heated at a constant 80 degrees. We offer senior water aerobics and swim lessons for children. For your safety, a fully trained lifeguard is always on duty. The multi-purpose room is used for all the classes we offer, from aerobics to spin bikes and even Zumba. It features a full mirrored wall and stereo system to keep the energy flowing. The Secaucus Recreation Center is provided as an amenity to our town, offered at a reasonable rate compared to other exercise facilities in our area. For more information, please call the number on your screen or stop by for a tour.